So if you have one of these Sony 70s TC series, this is the 377, I think there's quite a few in this series. I think there's a 366 as well as a 377, and various others might suffer this failure or difficulty, whatever you want to call it. Several people have asked me about this, and I couldn't really answer it because mine had never done this particular thing until now. And what it is, you go to switch it on. This is a play button, and you go to switch it on, and it misses the play setting altogether, and just kind of the switch just kind of jumps like that. And I've been still using it on and off for a number of weeks, and you have to kind of just get it right, and you can latch it onto the play, but it isn't good and it isn't right, and it shouldn't be like that. So we're going to try and take this to bits and see if we can solve the fact that it won't just clicks past the play into the forward fast wind all the time. So we'll take it to bits and see what we can do. This might turn into quite a long video. The first things to do are obviously is take that bit off. We shan't want that. If we get some tools as well, we're going to need, I think. It's just, I don't think you'll need an awful lot of tools to do this. Obviously you want somewhere quite reasonable to work on and do this. I'm just going to first of all slacken the chassis screws off a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. I think that releases the... these are just on the side of the cabinet, the big... like so. And then we have to pull the knobs off. One of mine wants re-gluing there. I can do that at the same time. The actual cover has come off the... So we'll keep everything over there together so we don't lose it. There's another one there that's come off as well. I think it's showing its age. It just wants a little bit of glue on those, they do. And that one. And then we can take these screws out. That one wasn't very tight anyway, was it? And we'll keep those all together there as well. And these two at the top here, which have like little cups that they fit into as well. So be careful when you take those off, they don't drop off, as you see, like that. You've got like a little cup that it fits into. That one. Then this knob here, you have to, can we see that? Yes, we can, hopefully. This, to unscrew it, it turns clockwise. So to unscrew it, don't turn it anti-clockwise as you would normally, turn it clockwise. That's the pause lock button, which you have to take off. Then we have these little bits of kit here that need to come out. The two things that hold the cover on, and there'll be some washers behind those. And then finally we have a screw. And there again, it's very easy to drop this one because I've done it myself. There we come, there it comes. Another screw there holding that. And that should remove our... We need the knob off, obviously. That would help if we took that off. And then that releases our cover. We can clean that, and obviously, because it gets very dirty, particularly around where the tape, and you know, you've got lots of bits. I can see lots of bits of old brown tape. And we'll stand that down there. So now we're into the insides, and this is the bit that obviously we're trying to get off. And if we put our, how does that go on there like that? Does that go in there? So the wonderful things, they're all really levers and switches and all sorts. But I love them at this as a tape recorder or reel-to-reel tape recorder. I think it's a brilliant bit of kit, and you can see how much dirt. You know, I regularly clean mine out as well, but how much bits of old tape. I play a lot of old tapes on mine, so it gets very filthy. So it's a good opportunity to give it a good clean. So we'll remove that for the time being again. And then we want to remove that screw there. And we'll keep these in a different location. We'll put those up there. Then that screw there. Going from memory, I think there's 5 screws that hold this on. There's one there. Another one there. So that's 3. And that's 4 up there. Perhaps we want to let's slip, if we can slip our belt off from there. That's got our belt off anyway. And then we remove the play head. I think in this case we're going to see if we can remove the play head there. Keep those in another location. Right, well, I actually took the play heads off there because they were so gummed up as well, and I've gently cleaned the play heads in alcohol, and but now this I've cleaned all up. I've degreased it as best one can. I think it's a job for the winter. I think the whole thing really could be stripped down and given a really good clean, and because it's so mechanical. But I've cleaned it, and then I've used a very, very light machine oil on all these parts, you can see. Now, when you want to try it, I believe you want to hold this lever up. And if we put it down now, there we go, play, forward wind, off, play, forward wind, play. So it is engaging very nicely into play, and let's say good clean up, degrease, some old grease on it, and give it a good clean, and then a very light oil to all the moving pinions and like bushes you can see, and how gummed up. The idle wheel is spraying bits of rubber off. I think the belts come bits of rubber off on it. Old tapes that I use have got a lot of dirt on them, so I think when it's one of those things that periodically you're going to have to do if you use yours a lot. But you can see we are engaging play, forward wind, off, play. Now if you don't hold that bit up, it still won't do it. So you want to hold this lever up this end and then play. So I just wanted to recap because I could see on looking at the video that my back was blocking a lot of the view. I have started putting it back together. But what I wanted to say was, when you take this, if you're going to take this whole bit off, which I did, to get these rods off, you might have to jiggle it about a bit and angle it. There's one at the bottom, you see there, one where my finger is down there. Down there, and then there's this one up here. And also, when you are cleaning this, very important to look at every moving part and also inspect all the little springs, because I found a little spring that had come out of kilter where it should be. And now I'm not going to say that was a crucial thing. It might be, it might not be, but there was some certainly very old black grease that had gone very hard, and certainly some parts of this moving mechanism were very stiff. So as I took it all out, I took the heads off, took it all out, degreased it thoroughly, and get a little screwdriver and try every part that moves, and if it moves freely. And if it doesn't, as I say, give it a good degreasing, and then light, just a wee drop of very light machine oil I've used. You can use, obviously what your preference, whatever you want to use. That's just what I'm trying at the moment. And then to put it back together, I usually get the belt on the bottom of the flywheel pulley there, the big wheel, and then hook it on at the top as well. And then you can drop sort of stretch it, lower it down into position, and then get a screw in. And it's quite easy to do that. I had taken this assembly off, so it didn't, obviously I didn't damage it when I degreased this. I'd taken the playhead assembly off, which is 3 screws. With these, you can see where they were tightened to because they've got red paint. One at the top there, one there, and one right down the bottom where you'll see that one. Do be careful, they have brass spacers behind them. It's got 3 brass, so obviously when you take those screws out, the spacers will fall out, so just bear that in mind. And then obviously you've got to slot them back in. The bottom one was a bit tricky. I got a bit of blue tack on a screwdriver and held it up there and got got it through and got it back in the hole. There we go, just my hand on that. So there we go, that's on, play, fast wind, off. This here, don't forget to reattach that as well. That attaches to the hook behind this unit here. There's a hook behind, because this is the switch. This is where the tape pulls this up and switches the motor on. So don't forget to reattach that, otherwise you perhaps won't get the motor on. And you can hear it switching, that little switch there. So obviously that's another thing to bear in mind. And so yeah, at the moment it seems to be working okay. And I'll get the cover back on. There's no need to see that, that's just boring. You've seen me take it off. Really putting it back together is identical, same procedure as taking it apart. I just wanted to explain about, you might have to jiggle these out a little bit, because you couldn't see me because my back was turned to it, and then the camera ran out of battery as well, I think, at that particular moment in time. And the bottom one pushes out very easily. This top one, just got to angle it. When you've got this this switch unit unscrewed, just angle it and it'll come out. So there we go. I hope this might help some of you, as you can see how easy mine now switches to play. It's positive and it's very effective, and it's so better to have that and not have to try and jiggle it to get into the play setting so it runs. And I say it's so easy. So basically, yes, what I did was give it a good clean, good degrease, make sure every part of that switch mechanism is free, and then a very light oil. And as I say, it seems to have transformed mine. So I hope that might have helped you. If you've got any questions, I'll try and answer them as best I can. My knowledge is limited to these tape recorders. It's just the fact that I've got one, and you know, I like to keep it going and maintain it myself. So there we go, but I'll try and answer any questions that crop up if you have any. Thanks for watching, and I hope you get as much enjoyment out of your Sony as I have done out of all the years I've owned this one. So bye for now, and catch up with you soon on another video.